is all I have. See, the Lord multiplies everything we put in. The Lord multiplies our seed sown. He multiplies our efforts and all of our actions, and He's able to do with that. So this is, it's titled, Father Oscar Romero's, it's titled A Future Not Our Own. It helps now and then to step back and take a long view. The kingdom is not only beyond our efforts, it is beyond our vision. We accomplish in our lifetime only a fraction of the magnificent enterprise that is God's work. Nothing we do is complete, which is another way of saying that the kingdom always lies beyond us. No statement says all that could be said. No prayer fully expresses our faith. No confession brings perfection. No pastoral visit brings wholeness. No program accomplishes the church's mission. No set of goals and objectives include everything. This is what we are about. We plant the seeds that one day will grow. We water the seeds already planted, knowing that they hold future promise. We lay foundations that will need further development. We provide yeast that produces effects far beyond our capabilities. We cannot do everything, and there is a sense of liberation in realizing this. This enables us to do something, and to do it very well. It may be incomplete, but it is a beginning, a step along the way, an opportunity for the Lord's grace to enter in and do the rest. We may never see the end results, but that is the difference between the master builder and the workers. We are the workers, not the master builder. Ministers, not messiahs. Prophets of a future that is not our own. Doesn't that touch you? It does me. It does me. And it just encourages me that no matter how small, no matter how insignificant it may seem, I'm not looking at the future. I'm not looking at the end. I'm just looking at the present. I'm looking at what I can do right now. And that may be your children, maybe your grandchildren, it may be your neighbor's children, it may be someone that you only meet for a short time. But you plant the seed. And again, to me, I'm a finisher. One of my favorite verses of all time in the whole Bible is, "It is finished." I don't necessarily enjoy the whole project. I like when it's done. I like to step back and have that sense of accomplishment and say, no matter what it is finished. We accomplished it. But so much of ministry for the Lord is not like that. So much of Christian service is not like that. So much of Christian service is we just get the ball rolling, and then we have to just step aside, and we may never see the finished project. I have an uncle that he worked at the John Deere factory in Dubuque, Iowa. He worked there his whole life. And I asked him on one occasion what he did, and he drilled the end. He drilled the hole in the end of the axles of the tractor. Every tractor you ever see, there's a little hole right in the end of the axle. Well, what's that for? It's so they can put it on a lathe and turn that axle out perfectly. And his hole had to not even be within 1/10,000th of an inch. If it was 1/10,000th of an inch off, they had to throw the axle away. It had to be perfect. But he never did get to see a finished project. He just drilled that one hole, and that was all he ever did. That would drive me bananas. Man, I don't care who drills the hole, who runs the wiring, who sprays the paint on. I want to be the one to put the JOHN sticker on and say it's done. You know, but that's not our life. That's not our choice. That's not our choice. And so often, I know raising children, and I've talked to a lot of parents, of course, and it's so heartrending for them to watch those children drive away, to watch those children walk the aisle, to watch those children leave their life. And they just have such a hard time dealing with that because they're not done. There's so much more that I have to put into them. Every parent knows that. And well, maybe not every parent. Some of them are like, goodbye, goodbye. But it'll always be that way. I know people who faithfully have attended this church, and I watched them accept Christ. We baptized them. I had the privilege of discipling them, some for years, some for decades, and then they moved on. And there's always that same sense. There's so much more to do. There's so much more to do. I think when this life comes to its conclusion, every one of us ought to think there's just still so much to do. And we have a part. And whatever that part is, I just want to encourage you this morning, number one, don't think it insignificant. Whatever your part is, whoever you're helping, one person is significant enough to cause all the angels of heaven to rejoice and dance. One person when they come to the Lord, one person when they repent and recommit to the Lord, that makes heaven rejoice. So don't ever think one person, even one, that you're ministering to, or one life that you touch. It may only be one time. It may only be one time.